Tutaenda renti, tutaenda jenga, sitaki cha kujua, bora tumeondokea.
Hiyo ni wewe na mamako.
Mimi si mtoto mdogo. Last time I checked, I was over 18.
KBC Channel 1 magazine programs strive to disseminate news and information.
Welcome to Happening in the World of Entertainment
and achievements of individuals navigating through life.
Be part of the intelligent conversation. Upper KBC Channel 1.
Related to the interest of Kenyan public on various subjects of national importance.
Basi karibu tujifunze.
Keeping you up to date with the latest tech news,
challenges and remarkable stories of individuals with disabilities.
And you have a say.
Our magazine programs empower communities with words for conversations and a common language to approach the world.
For your infotainment needs, we have a great range of programs.
We are taking time to acknowledge and to celebrate women under the age of 40. These are women who have made some great strides.
Started a business and here we are. So Tree to Table, we do wooden kitchenware and wooden home accessories.
We have lactation teas and lactation cookies that help, to boost breast milk supply in a healthy way, and at the same time it's a fun way of getting nutrients.
The years I've been making jam for my own kids, for my own family. Yes. The most unique thing about it, it has no preservatives, no chemicals. Those people who like feeling, you want something that is more natural.
All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023. It is now easier to report and surrender. Visit www.ufaa.go.ke and get started. Beat the November 1st deadline. It is your turn to surrender and report qualifying unclaimed financial assets. Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
It's the 14th day of October and you are just in time for the Legends Edition, coming to you live from Broadcasting House, Nairobi. And top in this bulletin, no reprieve at the pump. Fuel prices remain on an upward trajectory in the latest review by the energy regulator.
I look forward to an expeditious consideration of this request in the light of the dire situation in Haiti.
No turning back. President William Ruto maintains Kenya will deploy police officers to Haiti during the commemoration of Kenya Defense Forces Day. And the curtain closes down on Turkana Festival. Politics dominates speeches as the three-day Turkana Cultural Festival comes to a close. We're glad you've made the Legends Edition your choice this evening. Our sign language interpreter is Anne Wangeshi, and I'm Edmund Mudibo. Kenyans should brace for tougher times after the price of petrol, diesel and kerosene increased by between 2 to 5 shillings in the latest review by the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The new prices, which take effect at midnight, will see a litre of petrol retail for 217 shillings cents 35, while diesel will cost 205 cents 47, while kerosene users will now pay shillings more for a litre of kerosene in Nairobi. Our reporter Zainab Said has the details in the latest review that has sparked mixed feelings among Kenyans.
Like clockwork, on the 14th of every month, the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority released the fuel prices for the next 30 days. However, in a departure from the last 2 months, the authority held a press briefing. It is at this briefing that they announced the new prices.
Super petrol will be increasing by 5 shillings and 72 cents per litre. Diesel will increase by 4 shillings and 48 cents per litre. And kerosene will increase by 2 shillings and 45 cents per litre.
Energy Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir said government remains committed to fair competition and protection of interest of consumers and investors, adding government has stepped into subsidized prices.
That we are able to employ this month to support EPRA's pricing circle will cost the government about 1.77 billion. We'll put in a stabilization from PDL, the stabilization fund, some 1.77 billion to support diesel predominantly because that is the economic driver.
In the new prices, a litre of super petrol will cost 217 shillings and 36 cents, diesel 205 Kenyan shillings and 47 cents, while kerosene will cost 205 Kenyan shillings and 6 cents in Nairobi. According to the government, these costs are subsidized and they will compensate oil marketing companies between 3 shillings to 11 shillings and 64 cents for the fuel. The announcement, however, appears not to have gone down well with a section of Kenyans, while others were indifferent, even as they urged the government to work towards stabilizing the economy.
Mambo yatakuwa mazito, na hata yakiwa mazito kwa mwanadamu, serikali si ati itakuwa nzuri, na watu hataipenda. Kwa hivyo wakati mwingine ile ambayo ninaona ikiongezeka tena, si maisha itakuwa wapi? So Mungu hapo ndio anaweza saidia mwanadamu mahali ambapo tumefika.
Customers pia wanalia mafuta imepanda, so sisi tunaumia zaidi juu sisi bado prices yetu iko vyenye ilikuwa tu, unaona. But anyway, kama pia gavota wanapandishiwa mafuta juu na pia maendeleo iendelee kuongezeka, tuione kwa ground venye hizo pesa zinatumika pia. Mimi sioni kama kuna shida.
Tangu miaka kama labda 10 tangu ajiriwe ama hizi kazi za jua kali, mapato yako ni ile ile na bei ya vitu inapanda, maisha nauli, so unapata ile pesa ilikuwa unatumikia zamani hata kufanya budget bado ni ile hii, so unapata maisha inakuwa ngumu na inafanya hata watu wengi wanakuwa na stress.
Despite the 5, 4 and 2 shillings increase on petrol, diesel and kerosene, the Ministry of Energy says the prices would have been even higher were it not for the Cabinet's decision to adopt the use of Petroleum Development Levy to cushion Kenyans. For Legends Edition, I'm Zainab Said.
Kenya Defence Forces officers will be automatic beneficiaries of the government's housing plan. Speaking while presiding over the 12th KDF Day celebrations in Embakasi Garrison in Nairobi, the head of state said 9,000 units will be built for the Kenya Defence Forces in a move aimed at improving the living standards of the officers. And as Timothy Kipnusu reports, the president said that the government has already concluded procurement of 3 barracks where the housing units for the KDF officers will be constructed.
The 12th KDF Day celebrations at Embakasi Garrison in Nairobi. It is here that President William Ruto disclosed plans by the government that will ensure Kenya Defence Forces officers have better housing facilities.
We concluded procurement in 3 different barracks to build 9,000 units for units of houses for our Kenya Defence Forces.
As he presided over the day that is set aside to celebrate acts of valor and gallantry by KDF heroes and heroines, the president lauded the Kenya Defence Forces for their dedication and commitment in protecting and securing Kenya's territorial borders.
Our defence forces have accomplished much more than defence and security. They have crafted a fine legacy that transcends success and defines true patriotism, unity, perseverance, resilience, and most importantly, discipline.
President Ruto also honored the heroic sacrifices made by men and women in uniform who lost their lives while in the line of duty.
By way of appreciating what our Kenya Defence Forces are doing in defending our territorial integrity, in defending our nation, and in keeping enemies at bay, we will support you as you defend our country.
We are bound by a profound sense of gratitude and remembrance. We come together not merely as individuals, but as a united front to reflect upon and honor the unparalleled acts of valor and gallantry displayed by our defense forces, heroes and heroines.
This year's celebrations come as the country's military prepares to exit Somalia, with Defense Cabinet Secretary Edmund announcing that the troops serving under the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia will leave the mission by the end of next year. The day has been observed since October 2012, following the launch of Operation Linda Nchi in 2011. Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition.
Meanwhile, President William Ruto has defended the planned deployment of Kenyan policemen to Haiti to lead the multinational security support mission pursuant to the UN Security Council resolution. The president, who spoke at Embakasi Garrison, said Kenyan policemen are ready for the mission to bring stability to Haiti, urging Parliament to okay the planned deployment. This comes barely days after the High Court temporarily halted the deployment of over 1,000 police officers to Haiti, pending the hearing of a petition challenging the constitutionality of the matter. Gladys Mungai with the details.
In what is likely to put the judiciary, legislature and executive on a collision course, President William Ruto has maintained the deployment of Kenya police officers to Haiti was an international assignment that Kenya has an obligation to support. This comes amid calls for the government to reconsider its decision to send its troops to Haiti for a peacekeeping mission.
The choice of Kenya to provide this support was not by default. It wasn't through guesswork. Many countries identified us as a safe pair of hands, as a country with a rich history in peacekeeping, peacemaking, and peace operation, as a democratic country that has democratic credentials on how to handle situations like this.
President William Ruto maintains the government will not renege on its decision that has since received the green light from Cabinet. Speaking at Embakasi Garrison, the head of state urged Parliament to approve the deployment, saying Kenya was keen on playing its role in bringing stability in the Horn of Africa.
Cabinet ratified the decision, and the executive has conveyed the request to Parliament for consideration. I look forward to an expeditious consideration of this request in the light of the dire situation in Haiti.
Amid criticism that the country has its own share of security challenges, Ruto said the country has enough troops and the Haiti mission will provide exposure and sharpen the skills of its police force.
This deployment will enable our officers to add and to improve and sharpen their competencies, skills, and experiences in providing security at home and even beyond our borders. Our participation in the multinational security support mission reaffirms the DNA of our nation. Our destiny is inextricably linked to the whole of humanity. This is why Haiti is important. Haiti is not far. Haiti is our business.
This comes even as the High Court temporarily halted the deployment of the troops following a case filed by Third Way Alliance party leader Ikuru Okot and 3 others who argue the deployment was unconstitutional. The deployment of the Kenyan troops is scheduled for November. With myriads of reactions from Kenyans after President William Ruto decided to send the National Police Service in Haiti to restore peace, President William Ruto has defended his decision, saying Kenya has a responsibility in helping other nations to restore peace. Timothy Kipnusu for Legends Edition, Nairobi.
We thank you, Timothy, for the story by Gladys Mungai. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has warned security agencies against evicting traders and persons allegedly occupying public land without consulting local security committees. In reference to a recent attempt to demolish structures and evict traders in Old Kalau town by police, Gachagua asked government officers to be sensitive about the welfare of the public, maintaining the government has pledged to be humane during evictions. Additionally, the DP says the war against illicit brews started in April this year and is 70% complete, lauding national government administrators for sustaining the fight. The DP was speaking during a 2-day development tour of... The DP was speaking during a 2-day tour... I'll take that again. The DP was speaking during a 2-day development tour in Nyandarua County, where he announced the government will provide 100 million shillings for equipping and expansion of Kipipiri Technical College, and that Old Kalau town sewerage system will be reviewed and redesigned.
From girls, a permanent fine will highly boost the students' participation in this.
There is no policeman who can come from Nakuru to come and supervise the demolition of structures and kiosks and shops without having a conversation with the local security committee.
Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai has dared the Orange Democratic Movement ODM to write a disciplinary letter against him, saying he has no apology for working with the Kenya Kwanza government for the sake of development for the people of his county. Speaking at the El Kales Center in Lodwar at the close of the 7th edition of the Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival, Lomurkai said he was already charting his own political destiny and would not succumb to political deceit and intimidation whatsoever. Our reporter Abdiaziz Hashim with the details.
The curtains have finally come down for the 7th edition of the Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival. Local leaders using the event just 1 year after the election to make their intentions known.
Kwa hivyo kuja kutuambia eti kwa nini haukunialika, who tells you nikichaguliwa kwa chama chako eti kila siku nitakuwa nakualika? Why is it provided in law that I must welcome you to Turkana County ndio ufanye tarakasi?
For the second day running, disagreements between Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai and Azimio leader Raila Amolo Odinga were the focus of the debate.
So mimi sitishu tu ati nimekuwa pati yako, chama chako, ati unanitisha, sijui utanifuta. Wewe utanifuta. Mimi nimechaguliwa na katiba. My position is provided in law, in the Constitution of Kenya. Kwamba kutachaguliwa mtu anaitwa gavana. Na mimi nimepigiwa kura kama gavana.
The county boss stated that the leaders drawn from the county have resolved to work closely with the government for development and prosperity of the region.
Eti utarudi Turkana, si utarudi tutakualika. Lakini ukirudi kwa ujeuri hautafanya mkutano. Nataka hiyo ingie ndio barua ikuje sawa sawa. Kama kuna mtu anaogopa hiyo barua. Mimi nilisaliwa kama siogopi kitu. Na yeye ajui. Mimi nataka kutangulia kwa chama cha rais. Kwa sababu unajua Raila ako barabarani anaingia huko.
The leaders said the focus was how to have the region leverage on the current friendship with the government.
Hii ni serikali ya kusaidia na kutoa fidia kwa wananchi wake.
Mheshimiwa Ruto ametupatia zaidi ya milioni 390 ya industrial park.
The county chief says his administration has allocated over 44% of the county coffers to development and read the Riot Act to the county officers, saying no corrupt official will be spared. Abdiaziz Hashim, Legends Edition.
Kenya has developed a pool of well-trained young people who have the technical competencies and skills to work anywhere in the world. Speaking during a courtesy call at his office by a German recruiting consultant firm, Ezekiel Machogu, Education CS, said the government had established a strong technical, vocational and training system, noting that the firm will get the people with the skills it is looking for. This story and more in our County News Wrap.
The German consulting firm wants to recruit 250,000 people around the world for various industries in Germany, with Kenyans who have acquired the needed vocational skills set to benefit. Cabinet Secretary for Education Ezekiel Machogu, who held consultations with Volker Falchi, Managing Director for BBW Group, said the organization will interview young Kenyans with technical and vocational skills for various industries in Germany as part of a labor migration program.
The human capital, because we found out that one thing that you do is exposing those who are undergoing training to industry, connecting them for practical.
I think the most relevant thing is that you need to develop knowledge, competencies, and skills.
In Lugari, Kakamega County, residents are calling on hasty efforts from the government to find a permanent solution to financial challenges hindering education activities nationwide.
If we expect the delivery of curriculum, we must facilitate that delivery of curriculum by releasing capitation on time, by ensuring that the schools are facilitated.
Elsewhere, Kenyans of Goodwill have launched an innovation hub at Spring Valley, Nairobi County to distribute equipment and do research on levels of disabilities encountered by people living with visual impairment in the country. Speaking at the launch, Brian Mwenda, the CEO of Hope Tech, said the initiative is keen on promoting inclusivity and empowering individuals with disabilities, leading them to major fulfillment of their goals in life.
We thought about what if we actually set up a space for where all these innovators can come in and bring their products to Kenya, and also where people with disabilities can come and access the products.
We do offer some skill that is called orientation and mobility for newly blinded persons when they come to Kenya Institute for the Blind, and we work under the Directorate of Special Needs Education.
Finally, Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture Mithika Linturi has been crowned the Ameru Community Spokesman by the Njeri Njeke Council of Elders. Linturi now takes over from the former Meru Governor Kiraitu Murungi, who served in the role for 4 decades. Speaking at the historic Nchiru Shrines in Meru County after being elevated as a Meru Community Spokesman, Linturi welcomed his installation and promised to serve with dedication.
He's our kingpin, he's our spokesperson, wa Meru. He is the elder, the most senior elder wa Meru. Na tumempatia hizo nyasifa sote.
Joan Junge for Legends Edition.
Well, it's time now for our very first break, but don't go too far because there's plenty more on the other side.
Mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
Mungu awabariki sana.
Ni wengi wanakushukuru bila hata wewe kufahamu.
Niliona Mungu wa ajabu ameshuka.
Ni wengi wanaokuaminia.
Imejaa, imebaki, yani hamtasabi.
Ni wengi wanaokuombea ushindi.
Hawa ndio niachiwe na mama yao wakati aligojeka kwa muda.
Ni wengi unaowagusa kwa kuwapa afueni na imani ya maisha.
Asante na Mungu akubariki pia.
Ni wengi unawatembelea.
Through hii program ndo tunajua vitu zingine.
Na imani yako inawapa amani.
Akaaga juu ya kansa.
Ushindi wako ni wa wengi.
Roma niendanga, Roma.
Asante mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023.
Oh, come on, Leo. Hata wewe unajeka mbele. Mimi sielewi una wasiwasi wa nini. I mean, I'm very sure mmejipanga sawa.
Kwani ni nini na nyinyi? Mbona mnaingia room ya madem?
Sisi ni maafisa polisi.
So
Leo Faza. Uko chini ya ulinzi na unahitajika kuandamana nasi hadi kituoni.
Kwa nimefanya nini sasa? Nafsi yako itakuadhibu na hilo alijua.
Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
We are taking time to acknowledge and to celebrate women under the age of 40. These are women who have made some great strides.
Started a business and here we are. So Tree to Table, we do wooden kitchenware and wooden home accessories.
We have lactation teas and lactation cookies that help, to boost breast milk supply in a healthy way, and at the same time it's a fun way of getting nutrients.
The years I've been making jam for my own kids, for my own family. Yes. The most unique thing about it has no preservatives, no chemicals. Those people who like feeling, you want something that is more natural.
Welcome back. Historians are now keen to find out how the ancient man Homo erectus was able to traverse the harsh terrains of the Turkanas to the rest of the world. Christina Tabo, a curator from the Turkana Basin Institute, says the next phase of retracing the ancient race and understanding human existence is to reconstruct the mode of disbursement of the human population from its original homeland. Sarafina Robi caught up with her.
Millions of years ago, mankind walked these lands of Turkana with a different body structure, adapting to its environment. Christina Tabo, a passionate curator from the Turkana Basin Institute, explaining to locals and international tourists about different fossils on display that place Turkana at the center of human race.
Turkana is the first place we got the smallest baby ape that is dating about 13 million years. The only one in the whole world. This one has been proven to be the ancestor of all apes. All apes including humans. So all humans began in Turkana County at a place called Napudet.
The fossils on display depicting some historical epoch in human race.
We have arranged in 3 stages. The first stage are called the earliest hominins. Early hominins, this one including the first apes. Immediately after branching from monkeys, these first humans had features that resemble the monkeys. So after this stage got extinct, we came to the middle stage, Australopithecines. These ones include nutcrackers because as you can see, the mandible of one of them has so robust teeth that are used for crushing nuts. Because they never used any fire, they had no tools to manipulate food, they could only use their teeth to crush food directly and swallow.
It is based on retracing the footsteps of the ancient man that President William Ruto, while presiding over the official opening of the 7th edition of the Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival, called on the world to get back to its history and tour the ancient home.
Tobonglore is the language spoken at the cradle of humanity, means welcome home. We really mean this, and that is why we have committed to facilitate people all over the world to come home by providing visa-free facilities to everyone coming into our country.
The Kenya Tourism Board further highlights the importance of the festival in marketing Kenya as a tourist destination.
can come back, reconnect with people, reconnect with the community, and touch the source of humankind. Come back to Turkana, where now it will be a pilgrimage tour or safari of a cultural encounter of where humanity began.
Discovery of the Homo erectus, referred to as the Turkana boy at Narokotome in Turkana County, continues to prove that Turkana is the cradle of humankind, and evolution continues to happen daily. Serafina Robi for KBC Channel 1 from Lodwar, Turkana County.
The statue of Christ the Redeemer has stood towering over Lodwar town for the past 20 years, symbolizing 50 years presence of the Catholic Church in the arid county. The statue, which is a cross of Christ, has turned a major tourist attraction site, drawing dozens of locals and foreigners alike. Serafina Robi visited the statue and the shrine and paints the picture for us.
It is a site that welcomes you to Lodwar town, elevated on top of a hill in Lodwar, Turkana County. Less than 10 minutes drive from Lodwar town, you get to the Immaculate Conception Shrine. Those wishing to access the shrine must pay a modest fee of 50 shillings for its maintenance.
You know, with regard to shrines, there's an element of pilgrimage, and people want to punish themselves a little bit, or to do a bit of penance, whatever you want to, whatever name you want to call it. So they climb up and climb down. Then you've other people who just come and take photos and more photos.
But it is an enduring journey to make it to the top of the hill which the statue stands.
This is a prayer hill, and as one ascends to the top, you come across such stations as this, where it's written that Veronica wipes the face of Jesus Christ. Well, it is believed that the clothing that Veronica used to wipe the face of Christ remained with the face of Christ on the clothing.
On the way, you come across local and international tourists and faithful who either come to fellowship or tour the area.
I think this is a wonderful place to visit, not only to see beautiful things, the people here are lovely, and then as we always would spend a night here on the way up and then also on the way back, we just began to fall in love with the people of Lodwar and love this town so much.
The shrine was launched by Bishop Dominic Mengich, who wanted to create a place of prayer, bringing families together to seek Christ. For the minister says the clergy in the adjacent church meets every Saturday for prayers at the shrine.
I say Mass once a week on Saturday, and people come every Saturday and they have Mass and adoration and confessions. And then sometimes parishes come. We bring in groups.
The statue has a striking resemblance to the Rio de Janeiro statue of Christ, and the church hopes Kenyans of all faiths can make an effort to visit the shrine and feel the taste and tranquility of the people of Lodwar and Turkana at large.
It takes one less than 30 minutes to get to summit to the top of one of the many hills that are found in Lodwar, Turkana County. And on top of one of the hills is the statue of Christ the Redeemer that continues to attract tourists, both local and international. For KBC Channel 1, I'm Serafina Robi from Lodwar, Turkana County.
Saura Kato is the newly crowned Miss Tourism Turkana County in an event that marked the climax of the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival. And right now we have Jacob Kioria, who is in Turkana, and he is with the governor, that is Jeremiah Lomurkai. Kioria, what is the latest as the festival drew to a close?
Thank you very much, Mudibo, back at Broadcasting House. Of course, tonight marks the end of the 7th Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival, and it has been a wonderful 3 days as Turkana County showcased what it means to be in Turkana County, what you need to know about the county, and most importantly, talking about the preservation of the culture and heritage of the Turkana people. And right now I'm joined by the governor, the host of this event, Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai Ekamais Napotiken, who joins me in studio this evening to just, take stock about what has been happening the last few days. Governor, karibu sana, and I hope you're enjoying yourself even at this time, even though the event has concluded.
Okay, I think I'm enjoying.
Yeah,
because we have done well.
Yeah.
The 3 days have really been very, very colorful to the community, and I believe even across Kenya. But we've concluded that day, and I think now I'm a bit relaxed, only that we need to return our people back to their respective areas. I was just addressing a few communities, the communities or the delegations from South Sudan, Ethiopia and Uganda, to really bid them a bye as they go back to their respective places. I was indicating to them that because we are a team of communities that speak the same language, but they seem to be having some wrangles, fighting or doing cattle rustling here and there. So I was saying, I think that era of fighting because of a cow or two has long gone, and we need to engage now into trade, ask our respective countries to do as better roads that link our countries, so that we do good trade. We transport goods from one point to another. And maybe if there are goods that we do not have in Turkana, but they can be gotten in Omrate in Ethiopia, we can ferry them from there and bring them to Lodwar and the other way around. I think that's basically what I was doing. I was also engaging communities from our Turkana communities in the diaspora, that Cielo, Marsabit, Samburu, Nakuru, various places. Some of them have just left in the past 1 hour, and I'm yet to engage now others, because I need to really appear and tell them thank you for coming and for staying that long. 3 days for somebody who has a family and children, a lot of days. So I think basically that's what we're just...
What you were set out to achieve, Governor, within these last 3 days, because other than, the aspect of fostering peace, like what you were alluding to, there are other things that the Turkana County government sent to achieve through this Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival. Have you been able to achieve them?
Okay, I think because we've concluded all the 3 days, of course, the attendance was constant all through. That means our people were eager to get the message that was intended to be delivered to them. I think we have achieved, because every engagement that was carried out between the leaders and the people, between the artists and the communities, between various sectors, the choirs, the traditional dances, and then the exhibitions that were being done actually to try to market even the kind of technology we have applied in the production of food, in the manufacturing of honey, and many other things. I think that has been delivered. And then one good intention of this meeting was actually to allow other communities to come from various borders, like this county borders 3 countries. So people from Ethiopia came in large numbers. Uganda came, of course, I've just said I've been engaging them. Then South Sudan. At least the peace component has been delivered to them, and they have also brought their views. As a governor, I've had personal engagement with them, and I think the message has really been delivered, and I have achieved the real objective of the cultural festival. And then about now, giving them the picture of our culture. I think our culture, people have seen, they have admired, they really say, every other person, including the President of the Republic of Kenya, really confirms that our culture, our traditions, and many other things, even our own regalia or paraphernalia, the dressing pattern is still intact. It has not been interfered by westernization, by the other cultures, new cultures that have really emerged. I think, in short, we've achieved a lot. Yeah.
All right. One of your prayers to the president when he attended on Thursday was the extension of the power project from Lokichar to Lodwar, then to Kalokol, and he acceded to that, said in 15 months you will have it.
Yeah.
Here. Paint a picture for us. How, once that promise has been delivered, how will Lodwar look like?
Okay, I think I know that will be implemented because the president says in 90 days, because other things need actually to be really seen, that they have been supplied, they have been procured, that kind of thing. So we are waiting in the 90 days, it will be between there, that will be implemented. I think immediately we have, we connect Turkana County into the national grid. Yeah. Life here will be different because the kind of generators we have here, the issues of fuel, filling them, sometimes fuel has missed, and then we live in the blackouts. I think with the constant electricity supply, I think our communities and business communities can engage in their trade without any interference. I think what I know we will achieve is that our business community will get services, all the services that are getting connected into national grid is supposed actually to give us. I think a lot of things will change. We'll do a bit of preservation of our goods because we also produce perishable goods along River Tarkwell. Some of them are ferried from the end. It takes a bit of time to really sell them. They need to be preserved. Without electricity, that cannot happen. I think a lot will change in our county. Yeah.
The aspect of insecurity, because the president spoke to it, and I think almost every leader from Turkana County spoke about it, and the president says about dealing decisively with armed criminals. Some of them are said to have regrouped from Baringo, West Pokot, and then entered Turkana.
Yeah.
Why are you so confident about the promise made by the president? Because promises have been made before about dealing with insecurity. Why are you confident that the promise by President William Ruto is going to yield fruit?
Okay, I think because he's president of the Republic of Kenya, we must give him all our needs. Tell him that issues of security are national government functions. So if we keep them just within our community here or in our hearts without delivering to the right persons for the right action, I think we will have done disservice to ourselves as a county. So that's why we were categorical telling the president that the matters of insecurity in this county have become commonplace to mention. And I think if President, who is the head of the Kenya Defense Forces, gets this information, he will simply engage, like he mentioned, that he will send Kindiki immediately to come and sit with the leadership, with the governor of Turkana and the other leadership, to start engaging on the best ways we can handle this insecurity. And I think I am very optimistic that will happen. Because the other time when he said he will send the Kenya Army and the entire security of Kenya to come and deal with the road banditry, I think he did it. And exactly that is what has helped this county and even the road, because the road has totally become insecure. Most of the schools living even near Kainuk, including Lorokon, including Logum and Kakongo, various schools in Kwamoro, all of them were closed because of insecurity. but immediately those forces were sent. Most of the schools have resumed, and there's also a bit of reconstruction done, like even when I went to Kapedo, there's a bit of reconstruction of schools that were demolished by the criminals from the neighborhood. I think we know that will be achieved because saying he will now ensure that those people have been evicted. He has already a previous history of mentioning and doing it. And that thing looks to me is a very light thing to, if the government becomes very serious. But as a county also, because we already have, government also gave us a few NPR, implemented that, something he promised in June, but he delivered. We were given 100 NPR for Turkana East, and then some 50 for Turkana South, 40 Loima, and then a lot of NPR and in the north, where we border many countries, Turkana West and Turkana North. I think those NPR, we are going to, like I said, I will continue resettling our people back to their areas. Like now, the people of Nadome live in Lokori and Lokui areas in Turkana East. I said I must return them back to using those NPR. We'll take them back to their trading centers. And we have Lomelo, we have Kamuge, and also areas like Napetom, where children were, and their mothers and elders were burnt. I think you saw that one. I want to resettle back. I said I have allocated 105 million to resettle the people of Napetom, so that we rebuild some households, because most of them were really destroyed by these militia groups from the neighbor county or constituency of Tiati, and many others. So I think as the government is preparing to do what it has promised, we are also advancing to do what we can be able to do as a county. If building some classrooms is an issue for ECD, that's my function. If there is money, I must allocate the money to give them that service. Water, like I put water at Kakitete. Now we are putting, with that 105, many activities will be done with the 105, including constructing some permanent housing for the people, and also welling the entire thing, the entire village. That's another thing, and then drilling water in those respective areas. I think the contractor has already gotten the award letter from the procurement side. So I think I'm a governor who doesn't wait also. I need to also play my role to protect my people as well.
It is important. And as you speak about that, Governor, because part of the requests we had leaders talk about is a creation of 3 extra sub-counties, which the President acceded to say that, again, the Interior Cabinet Secretary will be here next week to discuss modalities about the creation of those 3 sub-counties. From a person who had that request and had the President accede to it, this creation of 3 extra sub-counties, what will it mean for Turkana County?
Okay, I was among the people who proposed for the 4 sub-counties. We've already been given one, that of Lokichogyo. The DCC is there, and all the other officers, the national government officers. We asked for Sokuta. Lokriama was a member of parliament then. I asked for Lokriama in my former constituency, which brought us now is the MP. And we have no wrangles even about the headquarters, about anything. And then we have this Aro. Aro is just a few kilometers from me, about 80 kilometers away. I think the 3 were, all the 3 or the 4 were really meant actually to handle the issues of insecurity. Because, even in Lokichogyo, Nadapal, you hear about Nadapal, Nakodai, that kind of border issues. So I think by making Lokichogio an independent sub-county, government security will be available near there. And then the same to Lokriama, we border Uganda. You see, Uganda has put a lot of security all along. Every 5 kilometers they have security. Sometimes I ask myself, between Kenya and Uganda, even in terms of currency, we are so powerful. So there are things I think we can do than they can actually do them. So I think by putting a sub-county at Lokriama, then we will manage insecurity along Urumbel to Mokori, and then it will also help the area of Lorengipi, where there is a bit of JSU camp. And then Aro, again, Pokot and Turkana there from West Pokot, and even and from Tiati, because those warriors from Tiati migrate to come, and I think there is a concerted engagement between the leadership of Pokot, those from West Pokot and Baringo of Tiati there. So they bring warriors. They believe warriors from Tiati are strong. So they come and live inside the Turkana South and start terrorizing people and even telling people to migrate from their areas and villages, permanent areas. I think the basic reason why we called for creation of the four was to handle or to take care of the issues of insecurity along those particular hotspots. Those are hotspots, areas that are prone to insecurity all the time, even before some of us were born. And then again, it will guard encroachment, because the other side, the problem is issue of land. You see, like the entire Pokot, West Pokot, or some of those areas like in our Tiati, they have little land. They want to expand, get into other people's land. Because I could even hear the member of parliament for Tiati saying, he was asking questions. Are there Turkanas who live at Nadome? And then the people answering, no. What about Kapedo? Kamuge? So this is a guy who knows the position of those particular areas. Right. So any area that do not have that Turkanas have already been chased away, he claims to be their area. When I was telling them, there are even areas in Lodwar that Turkana don't live. So I think he can even come and claim those particular areas.
All right. Thank you, Governor. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. And congratulations again for hosting the Turkana Tourism and Cultural Festival. It's been a wonderful time seeing the Turkana County and the Turkana people showcase what they got. Thank you very much for hosting us. It's time for us now to wind up on this other side and take you back to Broadcasting House in Nairobi. Edmund Mudibo, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jacob. And of course, we appreciate the insights and all the revelations from the Governor Jeremiah Lumurkai. Well, it's time now for our second break, and don't go too far because Topi Liambila Himuselefu will be here with the latest in the world of sports. Stay tuned.
All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023. It is now easier to report and surrender. Visit www.ufaa.go.ke and get started. Beat the November 1st deadline. It is your turn to surrender and report qualifying unclaimed financial assets. Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
Tuache kudanganyana. Hapa mali safi, mali mbichi, kijani kibichi. Tuko Lucky Game. Tunashibishana. Dial *570#. Chagua sanduku ya Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Chagua yako. Mali kibao, tuko na viti, tuko na vifriji hapa, tuko na TV, tuko na microwave, na pia tuko na chapa. All happening kwa *570#. Jishibishe.
Did you enjoy your food?
Iko sawa. Lakini spices ndio inakaa ni nyingi.
I love my food this spicy. Nika spices zimeniaribikia.
Kwani, what are you feeling? Christine, kwani uko wapi?
Are you telling me you didn't see anything strange with Christine yesterday? She acted too nice.
Hey mama, habari?
Utanihonga na hizi shopping zako kidogo kidogo.
Who are you?
My name is Mark.
I thought you possessed those Idris Elba, tall, dark, handsome. Kumbe ni wewe jamani.
Trish lost the baby. Ati nini? Hey, na inasemekana ni Christina alimpoison. Labda hata kichwa yake haiko sawa.
Good evening, and once again it's a big welcome to the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. Another Bamba edition, of course, from all the sporting highlights for you this weekend. Now, Kenya has been having a really wonderful set, as today the national under-20 women's team, Rising Starlets, has qualified for the next round of the 2024 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers after beating Angola 4-1 today at the Stadio 22 de Juno in Luanda, Angola. The Kenyan team, coached by Beldino Demba, sailed through on a 10-2 goals aggregate after winning the first leg encounter in Nairobi 6-1 a week ago. Both teams were granted byes in the first round against South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo after the two teams withdrew from the competition. The Kenyan team will now face Cameroon in the next round of the qualifiers. Cameroon qualified after eliminating Botswana 6-1 on goals aggregate. And without a doubt, the focus this past 3 days has been on Turkana. Why not on sports? Well, 2022 has been an outstanding year for the women's in football, in both locally and internationally, to inspire many upcoming players. Christine Loleteng is a young mother whose maternal duties have not stopped her craving for the same. Let's take a listen.
She sits at a corner and attends to her baby while glued at her teammates, anxiously waiting to join them in the field as soon as the baby settles down.
Jina mchezo naitwa Magwaya, nachezanga position number 5. So mi upenda mpira since nikiwa mdogo, nikiwa shule, nikapewa mimba nikiwa shule, nikasema wacha nicheze mchezo, maybe in case of nipate support wenye watanifanya nimalize shule, but sikupata.
She suddenly springs to life as soon as the baby lets go to do what she knows the best, playing football.
Mi ucheza tu mpira. Mtoto nilijifungua mtoto akiwa na wiki moja, nikarudi naye uwanja kwa sababu napenda mpira.
It is a routine that Christine Loteleng is used to as she turns out for River Tribe Girls, a football team in Turkana County, where she is chasing her dream of becoming a greater footballer.
Changamoto yenye napata ni ile kutokosa support. Kosa hiyo support, sina support kabisa. yenye naweza nishikilia. Kazi sina, naishi peke yangu, hakuna kazi nafanya, naishi na watoto, niko na watoto wawili. So sina hiyo support, sina mtu wa kunisupport, at least ni stand.
And she's not alone, as many players in the River Tribe team juggle between motherhood, football and other daily hustles just to get by, as the top striker Rosa Napeyok explains.
Nilianza mchezo nikiwa standard 6 at Kawalaze Primary School, nika proceed mpaka high school, that is my high school, secondary school. I was still the top scorer kuanzia primary, secondary mpaka level niko. Nilikuwa top scorer wa Skyward, nikawadiwa, nilipatiwa golden boot. Licha ya hayo, mimi ni mama, niko na watoto wawili. Pia mimi ni bibi wa nyumbani, niko na majukumu ya kufua, kupika. Licha ya hayo yote, mimi bado ni mchezaji wa mpira.
They are captained by Cynthia Kerio, who is a force to reckon with in the team, with among others.
Tumeshinda awards za Skyward, tulichukua cup, kuna top scorer wetu alipata golden boot. Tumebeba tena cup nyingine ya Catholic tournament. Skyward actually ni 3, tumebeba 3. Alafu Catholic 2. So far tuko na 5 cups. Alafu na golden boot ya watu wawili, top scorers walikuwa wawili. Alafu goalkeeper wetu alichukua gloves. Gloves, golden gloves. Alikuwa best goalkeeper. So sisi ndo tunajita champions wa Turkana.
Usually take our girls through our county government when we have a big Premier League, like the last it was professional. Tukaenda tukacheza kama team ya Turkana. We usually take our girls kama wanachaguliwa in every team. We have teams here in Turkana ya wasichana. Tunawachagua, then tunawapeleka kama team ya Turkana. So government kama yetu sasa ya Turkana, it helps us in facilitate, na pia saa zingine tunapewa pesa kila kitu yote, then tunaenda na tunakuja vizuri.
The players are drawn from various sub-tribes that came together to address climate change effects and conservation efforts in the region while empowering girls at the same time.
Tulianzisha wakati floods ilikuja huku Turkana. Wakati hiyo mvua ilinyesha, flow, ikachukua watu, ikabeba mambuzi, so ilipita through Laga. So wakati ilipenya hapo, tukajua kukuwa na mamiti, tukaamua sisi wenyewe kama River Tribe Club to form group ya kuplant trees kando na river. So that's why tukajiita the River Tribe. Sisi ndio tunachunga Laga, floods isikuje ibebe watu, ibebe mbuzi, at least environment for climate change sustain, ibaki tu hapo vile iko.
Turkana is more than what they show out there. There is sports, there is culture, rich in culture and many other things. And also these girls are being brought here not only by football. There's women empowerment behind this club, sharing different problems and empowering a girl child, that there's more to being a wife and other things. And also there are climate change ambassadors here in Turkana, and also there are environment friends.
So it's hot in Turkana, but I can tell you there's a lot that they have to offer in terms of culture, in terms of heritage, but also in terms of sports. They are rich in talent, as you have seen from River Tribe girls. They are captained by Cynthia Kerio, who is a force to reckon with in the team, with among others. I'm Wavinya Musa reporting for KBC Channel 1 Sports in Turkana County.
Of course, most of you sporting lovers will remember that, sporting talent is not new to Turkana. You remember the 1988 800-meter gold champion, Paul Ereng. He's also from Turkana County. And that's why we end up on that high note. And remember to be with us again next Saturday for another great sporting evening. Now, I'll hand you over to our very own Edmund Mudibo to close the show. But remember, after that, there will be Bridge over Congo. Rumba lovers like myself, get your shoes on. It's a good night from Topi Gambila.
And indeed, it's time for me to say goodbye, because it's time to get away from here. And all the best to you. We appreciate the privilege of your time. Our sign language interpreter has been Ann Wangeshi. Tukutane Bridge over Congo. Kwaheri.
All holders are notified to report and surrender unclaimed financial assets to the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, UFAA, on or before November 1st, 2023. It is now easier to report and surrender. Visit www.ufaa.go.ke and get started. Beat the November 1st deadline. It is your turn to surrender and report qualifying unclaimed financial assets. Pass the baton. Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. Receive, safeguard, reunite.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
Mchezaji wa Loto Moto,
Mungu awabariki sana.
Ni wengi wanakushukuru bila hata wewe kufahamu.
Niliona Mungu wa ajabu ameshuka.
Ni wengi wanaokuaminia.
Imejaa, imebaki, yani hamtasafi.
Ni wengi wanaokuombea ushindi.
Hawa ndio niachiwe na mama yao wakati aligojeka kwa muda.
Ni wengi unaowagusa kwa kuwapa afueni na imani ya maisha.
Asante na Mungu akubariki pia.
Ni wengi unawatembelea.
Through hii program ndo tunajua vitu zingine.
Na imani yako inawapa amani.
Akaaga juu ya kansa.
Ushindi wako ni wa wengi.
Roma niendanga, Roma.
Asante mchezaji wa Loto Moto.
It's a cocktail of emotions. The puns that cracks up the family. Greed that yields power and a hunger for success. Friends turn to foes. Survival for the fittest is the drive.
Who are we blackmailing?
But nothing beats the feud in a family where one disappears and another fights for the crown.
It was not supposed to go this far.
It's the desire to succeed that keeps us going, the deception that keeps us digging, and the laughter pill that keeps us living.